It's Friday, it's 5 p.m., it's happy hour lacrosse from Dorrance Field in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Number 6 UNC playing host to Richmond, the season opener for both teams. The Tar Heels fresh off a championship weekend run a season ago. And good evening, the sun's still out, Quint Kesnick is here. I'm Anish Shroff, glad you can be with us. Q. Last we saw, Carolina got all the way to the national semifinals. It's a different team this year. We're going to see a new midfield. Their top defender is gone. But the most important piece is back, and that's Chris Gray.
Talk about a guy who set a record for most points in program history. He was a Tewaaraton finalist. He makes everybody better. Well, how does he do it? He's like a dual-threat quarterback. He does a little bit of everything. He can carry it. He can pass the ball. He's a great dodger and a terrific shooter. He also hustles and rides and makes some of the gritty plays. 50 Shades of Gray. There's nothing he can't do. He adds creative flair, and he's humble. No ego. Makes everybody better. 20-3, Carolina is with Gray in the lineup.
The ACC Player of the Year last year. We got a glimpse of the Quint's offseason reading material as well. Q. Ryan Lansbury makes it go for Richmond. Fifth-year guy, Canadian, SoCon Player of the Year last year.
Gigantic production, skill, IQ, accuracy, and the ability to make quick decisions. Dan Chamati telling us the demeanor, the focus every single day, a leader, a rider, hustling on ground balls. He makes it go for the Spiders.
He needs one goal to tie the school's all-time record. Should get that today. For North Carolina, Quint, we mentioned how there's going to be some new pieces. They have the #1 recruiting class in the country, but this is some significant production that they lose.
Add to that list a monster defender, Will Bowen, who transferred to Georgetown. Now here's the deal about Carolina. Their midfielders are really good. They're just inexperienced. I mean, they got talent. Joe Bresci's roster is loaded. Great athletes, just a little inexperienced.
You saw the first 3 names on that list, right? Perry, Justin Anderson, Tanner Cook. Those were all fifth-year guys who had played a lot of lacrosse together. You'll see some young guys, Ty English, Antonio DeMarco. Lance Tillman came on late last season. We are ready for the opening face-off. Zach Tucci, so good for Carolina a season ago. He was 11 for 13 in the win against Richmond in 2021. And he'll go head-to-head with the freshman Jared Chenoy out of Fort Lauderdale. Dan Chamati was telling us Chenoy's got some nerves. First game, true freshman, national TV, and it's Tucci who wins the opening draw. Starting attack, Nikki Solomon, Chris Gray, and Jacob Kelly. And now the first midfield on for North Carolina. Ryan O'Connell, a fifth-year senior, and the 2 Schertzinger twins, Henry and Harrison. This one played to the wing, and an early goal. It's Jacob Kelly, who had 20 tallies a season ago.
That didn't take long. They're not even in their opening set, and Schertzinger's running downhill. Kelly just curls left-handed and catches that in one motion. Watch this, Anish. He catches it. Whoop. Beats Devin Craven. Good start for the Heels.
Devin Craven making his first career start in goal. Heated off-season goalie competition between he and Zach Vigue. They get a push. And it belongs to Richmond. So first possession now for the Spiders. They finished runner-up in the SoCon last year, losing the conference championship to High Point.
Wow, look at Carolina
defense swarming Ryan Dunn early.
There's no retreat there, Anish. They pressed out. Richmond was trying to sub. They didn't have all their guys. They got ambushed.
You saw Paul Barton, highly touted freshman, a top 20 recruit coming out of high school, 24 in white. Dad Harris Barton, a standout offensive lineman at North Carolina, who won 3 Super Bowls with the 49ers. Maxwell Cooney now, the sophomore with a bouncer, and Craven gets his first save. Tim Adams out of the ambush. And up ahead to Luke Frankeny. Grad transfer from Mount St. Mary's, where he was all conference last year. 6 in red. This is Lance Madonna. Dangerous with either hand. Feed to the middle, it's knocked down. And it belongs to UNC. Quint, it's very early in the season. We're a few minutes into this game. 24 in white, Paul Barton, you can tell, is going to be a good one.
I love this kid. 6'4" freshman from Palo Alto, California. The son of Harris Barton. He was the number 11 recruit in the country. Tall, fast, athletic. Plays with great effort as Richmond brings the 10-man ride.
Alex Bresci, the nephew of head coach Joe Bresci, with a shot on goal. Solomon gives it up to Kelly.
And you should get the feeling that Richmond's got to kind of weather this early storm by Carolina, playing with great energy and emotion.
Now listen, a lot of folks thought this game could be a sneaky upset pick. Richmond looked great in a preseason scrimmage against Loyola. A Loyola team that returns a lot, and that was a whisker away from championship weekend last year. And Carolina, as we showed you earlier, lost a lot of talent, especially on defense and that first midfield. Ryan O'Connell, fifth-year senior, down the alley. Now Chris Gray. Dangerous from anywhere. He's got a short stick. Feed to the middle, shot and a score. It's Henry Schertzinger.
How about this look? Chris Gray is a positionless lacrosse player. You referenced it. He can attack from behind the goal, from the wing, or up top. His eyes are on the goal, but the peripheral vision to spot a teammate and to put that ball on the money, and there you see, you get credit for the pass, man. Gray puts it right in Henry's stick. Mid-season face paint form for the Heels.
Now that's the one advantage of bringing back Gray, Quint. Yeah, you lose Perry and Anderson and Cook, and you'll hear that a lot this year. But Gray has been described as the stitching, the seam, the binding to the book. He'll make those other guys around him better. Tucci. Chris Gray got the step, and he makes him pay 3-0, and Gray's had a hand now in the last two.
Richmond's got to settle down here. Trying to find their bearings on defense. They just take a poor angle. And the defensive complementary players aren't in the hole to support. Gray capitalizes. There's a creative flair. There's really nothing he can do. His ability to improv in the flow of play has been so impressive. There's nothing that's scripted.
Are you saying they play in the Gray? Another face-off won by Carolina. Lance Tillman, a revelation late last season. 8 goals in his last 4 games. Had that big quarterfinal against Rutgers, 0 in white. Now Gray attacking from X. Eyes up, skip pass. Tillman, bouncer wide. Second midfield, it's Tillman, Ty English, 23 in white, the freshman. He's got it, along with Cole Herbert, the sophomore. Tillman feeding the crease. Solomon diving to the crease, and Craven comes away with it. And now the ride by Carolina. Such a weapon a season ago. And for Richmond, the #1 objective was to clear the ball and stay clear of this 10-man, sometimes 9.5-man ride that Carolina disguises so well.
That was just a standard ride, Anish, but what stands out is effort. The identity of this Tar Heel program from last season carries over. They contest every inch.
Good matchup here. Dalton Young against Connor Marr, 31 in white, one of the top shorties in the country, and saved by Colin Krieg. Now a sophomore coming off a terrific freshman season for the Heels.
Lefty out of Long Island, the top freshman goalie in the country last year at 53%. A trip to championship weekend, off to a good start.
Cole Herbert now for UNC. Third overall recruit out of high school a season ago behind Brennan O'Neill and Owen Hiltz. There's Solomon trying to split two. Has it jarred loose. And it's scooped up by Richmond. Ryan Dunn, 4 in red. At attackman a couple of years ago, played midfield last year, now back on attack. Dan Shamati telling us he has been a beast the last 2 weeks. This one skips wide. Quint, we talked about the new look defense for Carolina. Will Bowen is gone. Sean Morris is hurt. Evan Egan is hurt. Cam Lawhead is hurt.
Yeah, Colin Lawhead's hurt. So they're starting a senior, 66, covering the ball right here, Will Robbins, former walk-on. And then a sophomore in Max Cooney, 32, and Paul Barton, the highly recruited freshman. So it's a new group. The good news for Joe Bresci and Anish is that their defensive midfield is outstanding. Alex Bresci with the clear, 88. Connor Marr, 31, maybe the best at his position, that short stick defensive midfield position in the country. He takes the back seat to nobody. And then you got the playmaker, Matt Wright, at the long pole position. So specialists and defensive midfield, a strength for Carolina.
PJ Zinzer, 44 in white, into the game for Carolina. Good look here, and O'Connell cashes in.
Home opener for the Heels, and they've showcased tremendous energy and effort flying around. Spiders stuck in their web.
We're coming for you, Lucky.
This St. Patrick's Day, me clover charms turn milk green.
Where'd he go? We must have made a wrong turn.
Turn your milk green with these special Lucky charms. They're magically delicious.
Welcome. The great Marshawn is here to predict Super Bowl 56. Bengals, Rams. Ooh, baby, what a game. We've got 300 yards from Burrow. Seeing some playmakers. It's a pick 6. And a handoff inside the 5. That's interesting. Final score, 24-21, the Bengals. And that's the official Madden Super Bowl prediction.
Anish Shroff, Quint Kesnick, gorgeous afternoon turning into evening in Chapel Hill, and UNC off that championship weekend run, reloading with the #1 recruiting class in the country, including 5 5-stars.
They have 11 recruits in the top 100. I can't remember a class this talented and this deep. Joe Bresci, who's a relationship-based coach, has just gone out and put together an amazing assemblage. And you think about these guys, it's a national class too. Dewey Egan's from Torrey Pine, San Diego. Paul Barton's from California. Ty English is from Ontario, Canada via Culver out in the Midwest. DeMarco is from the Philly area. So he has basically gone out and pulled off an unprecedented class in my eyes.
Well, they had a lot to replace. They brought in a lot of talent. And the challenge in this early season will be to fit those pieces into the puzzle. Strong returns early, though. Lance Tillman over to Gray, who set North Carolina's single-season points record last year. Second in Division I, behind only Tewaaraton winner Jared Bernhardt in points. Third in goals last year. Gray misses wide. The backup by Kelly. Remember, on a shot that goes out of bounds, closest to the ball when it went out, gets possession. Antonio DeMarco, part of that ballyhooed freshman class. That's 15 in white. Here is Herbert, slowed by an injury in the preseason. DeMarco shovels it to the middle. A lot of red jerseys in there. It comes to Carolina. Solomon tried the BTB, and now we're going to get a whistle. A crease violation. It's against Richmond. It'll stay with North Carolina.
And they get a reset of the shot clock.
Now this year, when the shot clock resets, you'll see it normally reset to 60. This was actually a possession change, so it goes back to 80. But that's one of the wrinkles now. If you're on offense, you're attacking, and let's say you get the rebound from a shot that hits the goalie or hits the pipe, shot clock only resets to 60, not the full 80.
Nice save by Craven now. Let's see if Richmond can clear.
Craven also was a soccer goalie in high school.
Yeah, redshirt sophomore, 6'1". He's got a pro approach, according to Coach Chamati, from McLean, Virginia. Nice idea, poor execution. The two attackmen down low seem like they're both open. That long pass is there. It's just not easy.
Q, the possession advantage has been lopsided so far in favor of the Heels.
The face-offs are going to be strong. Zach Tucci, Andrew Tyre, and then you got a freshman, Chase Mullins. Carolina was good in that department last year. They should be even stronger this year.
Mullins, who you mentioned, #1 face-off man in the country out of high school. And Tucci and Tyre, they're not Fogos, face-off, get-off. They stay on, and they give you a chance offensively to create early offense off a face-off win.
Tucci, 5 goals last year. Tyre, he's a taller face-off guy, and he had 7 points. He was 52%. So it's a nice combination, different styles. It's a position that guys tend to get beat up during the course of the season. It's nice to have options.
PJ Zinzer will dodge from up top. Comes back to X and Gray. Drew the double momentarily. Still time to shoot. 15 on the clock. Now Solomon. Little rocker step to the cage. Didn't have an angle, and Craven is there.
Nice job by Craven sealing that one up. Strong angle play. Didn't get his stick down on it, but I think he caught it between his knees. Nevermore, Craven.
Look at you dropping Edgar Allan Poe after 50 Shades of Grey in the open.
But do yourselves a favor. Google the Raven poem and listen to it. It's one of the most amazing pieces of literature you'll ever get your hand. Like, every word rhymes. It's incredible. Better than an Anish Open. I'll tell you that. Better than an Anish Open. we need Edgar Allan Poe to write our opens and our teases.
Okay. Take me off the hook. That one hit the pipe off the cross of Dalton Young. SoCon freshman of the season last year. He's a dynamic dodger, and he's someone who can win a lot of one-on-one matchups, even against upper-tier competition.
So you see the reset of the shot clock of a shot that hits the goalie or the pipe to 60. It's got to be Dalton Young, Ryan Lansbury, and Luke Frankeny. Got to be the stars for the Spiders.
Young, 35 goals last year. This is Jack Delegati who gives it up. Lance Madonna down the alley, shot is tipped. Shot clock resets to 60. Now Lanchbury. Great feed, shot and a score. He finds Dalton Young. Richmond is on the board.
Spiders sting in the settled set. Multiple shots, an extended possession. Good action off the ball, and you love the end zone view there. You can see it develop out in front. If I'm attacking North Carolina, Anish, I'm going after these young defenders. I am not going through my midfielders. The strength of the Carolina defense is their defensive midfielders. I'm taking these rookies down low. I'm getting the ball behind the goal, and I'm making their close defense earn stops.
Ryan Lanchbury, with just a little good health this season, will become the school's all-time leader in goals, assists, and points. But right now, Richmond having zero success at the face-off X. Tucci dominating the dot. Tillman out of the box.
Tillman offers versatility in terms of quickness and speed from the midfield or attack. He's positionless. He had that 4-goal game against Rutgers.
Herbert whistles it wide.
Tillman zero. He's going to be just a matchup nightmare. Herbert is going to be a tough cover as well. He's 6'3", 210 now. Known more for his passing than his goal scoring as a freshman.
He's battling his way back from a preseason injury as well. Herbert, nice feed off the crossbar. That's going to be Richmond ball. They were closest to the ball when it went out of bounds.
You see Dan Chamati left side of your screen there with the red hat. His defense has got to do a better job inside, okay? They're doing okay on the ball, and it's the off-ball guys who's just staring and giving up some good looks inside.
Carolina wins the battle, middle of the field. There's Will Robbins, the walk-on senior. How can they be better in the interior, Q?
Well, the attack's got to work up the field to support. You got to run with confidence. If you're a short stick midfielder, that is just a normal midfield, you got to have the ability to run by your man, to give him a fake, to split him in space, and to have confidence.
There is Tillman, nicknamed Dance Tillman last year.
Great double team.
Well-timed slide.
That's a great double team by Richmond. You see that number or name on the back of a jersey? It's a good time to go, and it's the most active we've seen Richmond on the perimeter. This is where they've struggled, okay? They're still trying to get their personnel on and off the field, and look at Carolina press out. The attack's got to work up the field. Lanchbury and Dalton Young have to come up the field and support the clear.
Richmond is not turning possessions into shots. Only 6 shots in this opening quarter, just 3 on goal. Carolina has 15, 9 on goal. Tazewell on the doorstep, and right there is Ryan Dunn. And Richmond now with 2 straight after a 4-0 UNC blitz out of the gates.
Tazewell, well done, backside. Great pass and finish. Okay, Richmond has settled down in the last 5 minutes. I think that is apparent. Question marks for them will be face-offs and clearing. Ryan Dunn, 6'2" senior, Loyola High School in Baltimore. Only 10 points last year, but he had 6 goals in the scrimmage against Loyola. I think the light bulb's gone on.
They went with the long pole at the X, and Tommy Stoll wins the faceoff. Final seconds. Stoll toward the cage, trying to play it back for Young, and time expires in quarter number 1. A young North Carolina team that reloaded with the top recruiting class in the country opened on a 4-0 run. And along came the Spiders with 2 straight to close stands at number 1.
Welcome. The great Marshawn is here to predict Super Bowl 56. Bengals, Rams. Ooh, baby, what a game. We've got 300 yards from Burrow. Seeing some playmakers. It's a pick 6. And a handoff inside the 5. That's interesting. Final score, 24-21, the Bengals. And that's the official Madden Super Bowl prediction.
We're coming for you, Lucky.
This St. Patrick's Day, me clover charms turn milk green.
Where'd he go? We must have made a wrong turn.
Turn your milk green with these special Lucky Charms. They're magically delicious.
Last year was a banner season for the ACC. 3 teams make it to championship weekend. Notre Dame very nearly could have been a 4th, and this is no surprise. 4 of the 5 teams in the ACC ranked in the top 6. Syracuse, new head coach Gary Gait. We'll talk about that at halftime. They play tomorrow. They're at number 12. Virginia, Duke, Notre Dame, they're all championship contenders again. North Carolina, Quint, I think it's going to be a little bit of a work in progress as they fit some of these young guys in. We talked about that in quarter number 1.
Heels have great team speed, and you know the common thread in the ACC, honestly, is physicality, speed, and skill. But then this league has a certain depth of talent. When you go to your 12th through 22nd player on your roster, you're pulling out high school All-Americans, usually freshmen and sophomores. And every team in this league, they're working for a national championship. They're working with the title in mind. I don't think that could be said in any other league in the country. That's the standard for every team in the ACC.
Yeah. We're seeing an adjustment by Richmond to open quarter number 2. We saw it at the end of quarter number 1. They've gone now with Stull, the long pole at the faceoff X the last 2 times out. Skip pass, O'Connell.
Richmond playing a man-to-man defense. The concepts are very similar to basketball.
Jacob Kelly, that question mark shot wasn't there. Now Henry Schertzinger. It'll stay with UNC.
It's a nice defense by Richmond. They forced that severe angle shot. Looks like Richmond may be sitting in the zone here late in the shot clock.
Harrison Schertzinger to his twin brother Henry. A hard rip off the side of the net by Solomon.
That's the clear I'm talking about right there, Anish. The confidence to run through traffic, to use your wheels. Loved everything about that defensive possession. They change up to the zone. Carolina has to pause. They settle for a weak shot. So great coaching and execution by Richmond.
Here's Frankeny. Now Dalton Young will dodge from the wing. Help coming from the backside. Lanchbury. He's so good with those one-handed passes. It'll stay with Richmond.
Carolina closes out. They cover so much ground defensively.
.20 to shoot. Lance Madonna now. Gets through a couple of defenders. Chance here. Instead of turnover. Connor Marr, 31 in white. Joe Bresci told us he is such an elite short stick D-midi. You could see him playing close defense at times this year as a shorty.
Inside the cross preseason All-American. 65 ground balls last season. A lot of miles logged, a lot of shifts, a lot of big games. It's a difficult position, Anish, in the ACC where you're going against world-class lacrosse players on a weekly basis in space.
The level of talent, Quint, the last few years in No COVID year, everyone getting an extra year of eligibility is astounding. And then you look and you see, hey, some of these guys are still sophomores and juniors. The Connor Schellenbergers, the Brennan O'Neills. Eric Dobson at Notre Dame.
See the lack of practice showing up in Herbert's game. You watch SoCon tape of Richmond from last season, going head-to-head with High Point now in that league annually, it seems. At times, they lacked ball movement and people movement on offense. Just a little too stagnant. I'd love to see them operate in this game from behind the goal to attack the weakness of this Carolina defense.
Tazewell gives it up. Lanchbury. Shot high. Richmond had the backup. Quint, how much does Richmond miss a Richie Connell, who was such a great finisher and had that chemistry with Lanchbury last year?
Well, Connell's at Denver right now. I thought, that's a guy who kind of snuck out of the Denver area in terms of being recruited, but he was just a terrific left-handed complement to Lanchbury's game.
Good rotation there defensively from Carolina.
Shot clock down to 11 here.
This will be UNC ball.
The ball was tipped by North Carolina. The question is, how much time is left on the shot clock?
I think Matt say 2 seconds.
Fittingly, Palem's wearing 44. They should put him in 10. That was his number.
And now it's Carolina ball. 10:20 to go. UNC scored the first 4 goals of the game. They have not scored those since the 7:25 mark of quarter number 1. Neither team has scored in the second quarter.
Strong play by Alex Bresci. Those are the type of players.
First half.
Yeah, he's the type of player you can really win with. Junior out of Loyola.
Harrison Schertzinger. That one caroms off the pipe. That's going to be offsides on Carolina. Richmond ball. And that's going to be a push from the back with possession. And we'll have our first man-up opportunity of the game.
It's a foul of aggression. It's a foul of effort from Matt Wright. He's hustling. He's trying to make a play. Just runs up the back of his opponent. Matt Wright's a player, man. Junior from the Hill Academy. Watch it right to left on the screen here. You'll see him trailing the play out of the substitution box. His motor's always on. He tried to decelerate. He just couldn't hit the brakes in time. And now we get to see a Richmond team on the extra man that was absolutely lethal last season.
63%.
63%. Have you ever heard of a number like that, Anish?
I mean, I've heard of the number like that, not necessarily correlated to man-up efficiency. Lanchbury feeding inside. Luke Graham, the sophomore.
Graham posts up inside. Little jump shot, he turns and shoots. Pennsylvania native, now a sophomore, has been coming back from a foot injury. 15 points a year ago. That's his role today. It's got to feel good. And you see the reception he gets.
Chinoy wins the faceoff. And that was a chance for early offense for Richmond. Instead of turnover, Lanchbury, though, 3 assists. 3 different goal scores for the Spiders. And Quint, it feels like game on after a slow start for Richmond.
Absolutely. If Chinoy can start to pick up steam, the freshman face-off man, St. Thomas Aquinas, is probably the first non-football player out of that school.
Gray gets one back for UNC.
Seamless attack off the turnover. Gray's looking to feed as he posts up right-handed there. Look at him, his eyes are up. He's looking for a left-handed compliment. No one's there. And he just keeps going towards the middle. Drags the goalie off the near post and finds pay dirt. Again, the depth of his game, the versatility, all comes from a consistent work ethic. It's a young man who's committed to his nutrition, the wall ball, the film work, all with a fresh dash of creativity, Anish, that makes our job fun.
Another face-off won by Richmond, starting to gain a little momentum at the X.
I watched some highlights of Chinoy from St. Thomas Aquinas. I think it's the first time I've seen palm trees around a lacrosse game. Every highlight had palm trees. Kid's not used to losing. It was 93% in high school. 93.
That's what Dan Shamati said. Once he understands, hey, if you lose 4 or 5, it's okay. There's going to be plenty more to come your way. And we're starting to see him settle down. I was talking to T.D. Irwin a couple of days ago. Now an assistant at Syracuse, the great face-off man at Yale and Denver and Albany. And yeah, he said he's teaching his guys so much about the mental part of the game. Alex Bresci, it's not there. You can lose a couple. It's okay as long as you refocus and get ready for the next one. And he says that's where it snowballs for certain guys, where you let a face-off defeat or 2 or 3 turn into 7 or 8. 5-3, North Carolina on top of Richmond. Season opener for both. ACC against the SoCon.
It's amazing. He's talking about motorcycle insurance, and people love it.
You deserve to save.
I deserve to save.
I mean, he has a way of making you feel seen.
Bundle car and motorcycle insurance at geico.com.
Welcome. The great Marshawn is here to predict Super Bowl 56. Bengals, Rams. Ooh, baby, what a game. We've got 300 yards from Burrow. Seeing some playmakers. It's a pick 6. And a handoff inside the 5. That's interesting. Final score, 24-21, the Bengals. And that's the official Madden Super Bowl prediction.
Chris Gray, graduate student from Long Island. Toolbox, it's got all you need. Whether it's a little dish in front, getting to the heart of the defense with an acceleration, mid-range shooting from 8 to 10 yards while on the run. I can't remember a player who's got so much. The ability to carry the ball, the passing, the dodging, the shooting, the riding. Nothing's planned, and that's a fun thing about watching Chris Gray. It's all in pride. It's like watching Lamar Jackson play quarterback. You never know what you're going to see next.
There's a save by Craven. And Joe Bresci told us the other day, Gray this year, with youth in the midfield and inexperience in the midfield, Gray will be the safety net. When things go wrong up top, hey, throw it through X, play through Gray. They want to take the weight off some of those young freshmen early in the season. And Quint, you've seen this. How much better do younger guys get when you get to play with someone like Chris Gray?
Oh, it's huge. They want to run the offense through 4 every time down. you're going to see Chris Gray get a touch, and that's going to soothe everybody. It's going to calm everybody down.
Richmond makes it 5-4. That's Frankeny, his first goal as a Spider.
Well, you know, you got a loud cheer at the Odd House in Emmitsburg. Frankeny, the Mount St. Mary's transfer, 79 goals while he was there. Kid's going to be a primary dodger and mid-range to outside shooter with a hammer. It's going to be a threat on extra man. He's a great grad transfer. Wilmington, North Carolina native. He's got a huge, huge support base on Instagram that was marketing Luke very hard to me this morning on some direct messages.
Come on, sell the brand, Q. Sell the brand.
You know, the last time I saw Luke Frankeny, his Mount St. Mary's team was nearly upsetting Johns Hopkins before the pandemic kicked in.
Yeah, that's right.
In that Tuesday night game at Homewood Field.
Here comes Stowe. True freshman out of Connecticut.
We'll give Mount St. Mary's a shout out, Anish, for beating Navy last week.
Hey, that was a
big win for the program.
Now Frankeny's going to be the top midfielder on this team. And Richmond, which is not led in this game, looking to get back to even here.
20 seconds.
There's Lance Madonna.
Extra man.
Bodies flying. It's going to be Richmond ball.
Look at the demeanor on the Richmond sideline now. You got your bench into it. Guys are cheering all the little plays. It's a different team than we saw in the first 5 to 8 minutes of this game, right?
Lansbury's pass. He loves those through passes. That was knocked down. Barton lost his stick. Spiders recover. When they get something unsettled, they'll slam the brakes. Lansbury, 3 assists already.
Little helter-skelter.
Back
Had a mini yard sale. Little mini yard sale, Anish.
Is yard sale still on this year, or did we get canceled?
I think it's like a real yard sale. You know, it's like you don't know until Saturday morning.
I was surprised we made it through one season.
I'm not holding my breath. Let's just put it that way.
Dominic Pryor, 30 and white. He's one to watch. Grad transfer from Hofstra. Spent 4 years with the Pride, and he played some offensive midfield, so he could be a two-way threat for UNC this year. He'll be a D-middie for Carolina. Solomon cranks.
If Richmond doesn't like what's going on defensively, a matchup or a scheme they're seeing, they just like kind of throw up the white flag and say, we're going to go play zone.
Has that been their big adjustment since that 4-0 run by North Carolina?
Yeah, they've done a better job in terms of midfield defense, and they have thrown an occasional zone. Dan Chamati is an excellent, highly underrated coach. This guy, he's not a self-promoter, so like what they've done at Richmond, 3 NCAA tournament appearances. This is his 9th year. He took this program from nothing and has built them into a top 25 program annually.
They're the poster child for a startup program. They got to the NCAA tournament in their very first year. Got there again in 2018, 2019, 2020, no season. And a game away from getting there last year. They lost a high point in the conference championship. For North Carolina, we've talked a lot about Chris Gray. Now, the number that jumps out of all of them, Quint, Carolina is 20-3 since he transferred from BU and became a Tar Heel.
20-3. I go back to that 2016 national championship game, and And after that, there was high hopes for this program, but they kind of flattened out until Chris Gray transferred from BU. They had an amazing pandemic cut short season. What were they, 7 or 8-0 that year? And then last year, they were unstoppable. I mean, 16 goals per game, making their way to championship weekend.
How many of their games last year over by halftime? They were averaging 9+ goals in the first half of games last year. You look at that overall number, you said 16+ goals per game, tops in the country. In a lot of those games, Quint, we were seeing the backups, the end of the bench, the guys that you called scrubs when you did the Hopkins-Jacksonville game.
You know, what I enjoyed about Carolina last year was just the tempo and their identity. You know, like, they go. Their games are super fun to watch. They're high scoring, they're action packed, they ride. There's very little lulls or dead moments. This is a fan-friendly brand of lacrosse.
Ty English, 23 and white. He's one to watch this year. Part of that #1 recruiting class, Canadian. Herbert trying to pretzel through his defender. Feeds Kelly. Shot and saved by Craven. Jake Saunders took it off the bounce.
Craven's been outstanding, and the clearing has been better since early in this game. Look at the save differential.
Chance to tie. Richmond waits for its personnel. Madonna dodging against Bresci. Frankeny now against Connor Marr. Madonna ties it at
5. Team offense, a wing dodge. Through center top, one more to the lefty. Lucky star Madonna pings this one off the post. Terrific team offense. Madonna from East Syracuse, Manoa. Two-handed, he's got a high upside. Played a lot of high school attack.
They like his range. Adept at shooting with either hand. Chenoy off the face-off win.
Look at Chenoy.
Momentum has tilted toward Richmond in this second quarter.
Looks like a fullback. Not used to losing it. He's probably not going to have to get used to losing the way he's played in the last 10 minutes. Broward County Player of the Year. Who's the Dade County Player of the Year, Nish?
For lacrosse, I have no idea.
I don't either.
Dayton plays it back. This is Tazwell. He's a Richmond native, a sophomore. Richmond looking for its first lead. Young sneaks inside. And a sting! I think they're going to say he was in the crease.
Wave it off.
Comes off the board. O'Connell, lefty.
Carolina's shooting has not been great. If you joined us late, they're up 4-0 in this game.
Carolina without a goal now for 7+ minutes. It's their second scoring drought today of 7 or more minutes. O'Connell off the alley dodge. Forced to give it up. Kelly out to the wing. Zinser. That pass knocked down. And it's picked up by Jake Kapp. He and Braden McClure, 41 and 33, interchangeable on close and LSM.
Kapp, a junior from Ohio, very experienced, tall. Nice game sense there. It felt like the guys in red, the Spiders, getting a little spread out on D, and he made that adjustment work back towards the middle for the clean pickoff.
Coming up at halftime, we'll preview the weekend. Syracuse Holy Cross tomorrow, the start of the Gary Gait era. We'll preview what the expectations should be for the Orange this year. "50 seconds to go. Half number one. Delegati waiting. Running start on Mark. Extra pass, and Richmond takes the lead. It's Ryan Dunn.
Spiders brought their fans from Richmond. Gorgeous play. Double team drawn. Down the side. One more to the backside as the defense rotates. Defense is on the carousel. They're too late. Tic-tac-toe. Dunn with the layup. Spiders with the lead.
One goal in the last 22 minutes for North Carolina. Tucci back out there at the X. And Chenoy, after a slow start, winning faceoffs and giving Richmond a big possession advantage in the second quarter. Timeout.
Look at this.
Chamati. Quint, that's where this game has turned. Richmond has had the ball in the second quarter. They're making more of their offensive possessions and they're winning faceoffs.
Chenoy's got such a bright future. He's got the body type, the prototypical body type for Fogo at 5'9", 190. You know, if you watch tape of him last year at St. Thomas Aquinas, he was also their top scorer. He had 25 goals and 14 assists, so he can handle. The question today was obviously, you're competing against 22-year-olds, 21-year-olds, bigger, stronger, faster, more experienced. But after some early nerves, he's settled in. And you can see, man, talk about a bright future.
Richmond in the midst of a 6-1 run and 3 straight goals to take the lead for the first time.
Welcome back to lacrosse. Luke Frankeny and then Madonna. Done off this scintillating passing. Arthropods up by 1.
Quint, this is a Richmond team, much like High Point in the SoCon. Not afraid to play anybody. You look at what they've done over the years. In 2020, they took Duke and Maryland to overtime. Beat Notre Dame in 19. Beat Carolina in 18 and 17. In 17, that was a Carolina team coming off a championship. Beat Duke in 2016. When you look at their schedule this year, it's a fearless schedule. They go to Towson. They're playing at North Carolina. They play at Duke. They play Georgetown. They'll play Virginia. I mean, they're playing 3-4 teams that could end up in championship weekend.
I have enormous respect for their head coach, Dan Chamati. He's got 2 assistants, both young. Paul Richards is the defensive coordinator. John Hogan is the offensive coordinator. They compete in the SoCon, which, in my viewpoint, in the last decade, has been the brightest spot of lacrosse. The growth of lacrosse at Jacksonville, High Point, and Richmond.
Yeah.
These guys have done everything right. They have the highest standards, and the improvement that they've shown as a program is just incredible. It's been so healthy for the sport as a whole.
Final 10 seconds here. Barton matched up against Young. The pick by Madonna. Skip pass. It hits the ground. Pryor chucks it downfield. And half number 1 ends. Can the Spiders slay another? Down 4-0 early. No quit in Dan Chamati's team. They've got a 6-5 lead at the half cue.
Couldn't be more impressed. Great work by Devin Craven, the goaltender. Dan Chamati, after a rough first 5 minutes, settled the nerves of his teams. He made some adjustment. He put the pole out on the face-offs, and then Chenoy had kind of a second wind. He came back. The defense mixing the zone and man schemes has been effective, and Carolina has shown some youth on defense. The body language tells the story. I mean, look at those guys in white right now, and look at the guys in red.
Richmond, despite some sloppiness early, they did have 11 turnovers in that first half. won 5 of 6 faceoffs in that second quarter. Down 4-0 early. It's the Spiders on a 6-1 run going into halftime. We'll preview a big weekend in lacrosse and the start of the Gary Gait era at Syracuse. The slow moon climbs, the long day wanes. Twilight in Chapel Hill. It's Richmond on top of North Carolina, 6-5. Carolina opened this game on a 4-0 run. Chris Gray picking up where he left off last year.
Chris Gray picked up a lacrosse stick for the first time when he was in first grade. And you getting to see this artist at work today, whether it's passing, getting to the middle of the field, creating in space. He just flows effortlessly, and his decision-making is unbelievable. Like his ratio of turnovers to production, off the charts.
And then Richmond, a 6-1 spurt after that 4-0 start by North Carolina, including the last 3 of the second quarter.
They fixed their face-offs. They sprinkled in some zone defense, and then the passing on offense. Tic-tac-toe, Graham from Lansbury, Frankeny, Madonna, Dunn, sharing the ball really well.
Tupi wins the opening faceoff of the second half. Both teams at the faceoff X, almost even. In fact, they are even now. 7 for UNC, 7 for Richmond for the game. Now, what does Carolina have to go back to, Quint?
Got to get the ball to Chris Gray on offense. You know, they're attacking from the top down with their midfielders. For right now, I'd like to see the ball in 4 and White's cross a little more as an initiator.
Henry Schertzinger, a goal and an assist. O'Connell, left-hand free, bouncer, that will be a save. Will stay with Carolina. Again, new rule, shot clock resets just to 60, not the full 80 this year.
Craven has been outstanding, taking over for Jack Rustbolt, last year's starter, as Richmond switches to a zone defense. It's a 3-3 zone.
How do you want to attack?
Press the seams. The ball carrier's got to press the seams and draw 2. Circular passing doesn't get it done. Somebody's got to step into a seam and then kick. And again, step into the seam.
O'Connell stings the corner. His second of the game ties it at 6.
Zone busting from the outside. You talk about liquid smoke. He sniffs this out, plants his feet and says, "This is disrespect, I tell you," and paints the corner from about 16 yards. It's one thing to play zone. It's another thing to stand around like red traffic cones and let a guy like O'Connell paint your goalie. That's a ridiculous shot.
And Quint, we talked early in the broadcast about the impact of losing that entire first midfield from last year. Teams were petrified to play zone against Carolina when you had a William Perry and a Justin Anderson who could bust a zone just like O'Connell did.
Maybe a little bit different this year, but O'Connell certainly earned the respect with that rip.
Krieg out of the cage. We got to get a look under the helmet. Does he still have the mohawk?
You know, I listened to a wonderful podcast with Colin, Lax Goalie Rat podcast. Unbelievable, 45 minutes where he talked about the mohawk, how he went back home toward Melville after the season and got his normal hair. He said his mom wasn't in love with it, but he said it will make a return. He said he promised it will make a return.
He understands what the people want. And he's a goalie in every way. He'll hum songs to himself in the cage.
Sing and dance between the pipes.
Gray slips, recovers. Richmond still sitting in that zone. DeMarco. He's got range. That's Tillman. 20 to shoot. Short stick matchup.
Yeah, they're back to a man-to-man here with a quick adjacent double team.
Tillman was able to slither inside.
Shot clock now. This is a go time for Chris Gray.
Two-man game. And they got Tillman. Snakes around, and that's a save. I guess it wasn't hit by Craven.
Side of the base of the goal.
And it kicked up, so that's a shot clock violation. I think it caught North Carolina off guard. I think they thought it was a save, and it should have been a shot clock reset.
Well, Chris Gray wanted an explanation, and I will say, I think the refs made the right call. The key there is communication.
Carolina forces the turnover. A chance here. Gray hesitates. Left-hand bouncer. Not much on it. Richmond, the backup. It was the dive by Craven. A missed opportunity.
Yeah, Carolina does a great job in this middle portion of the field, clogging it up.
Jarred loose.
That was Anish, that was the true 10-man ride. We haven't seen Carolina do it much. The full court press, they take the goalie out and really turn up the heat. Joe Bresci, talking to us, said he was a little hesitant to use it because of the inexperience of his defensive group. You know, consider it like a football blitz. If you've got a young secondary that you're going to put out on an island, do you really want to blitz a lot? And so the 10-man ride is everybody. They have the strong attack. They're pretty good at the midfield riding, but the defense, those patterns are all new.
Barton hounding Ryan Dunn. And getting inside for the goal is Richmond. That looked like Dalton Young again.
He had a hat trick against Carolina back in 21. Pump fake and go. Look at the change of direction. He gets to the inside. This is what I was asking for more in the first half. You attack this Carolina defense from behind the goal. Inexperienced defensive group. All three defensive starters for the Heels are making their first lifetime start.
Barton, the freshman, Robbins, the senior walk-on, and Maxwell Cooney, a sophomore, who only played 2 games last year. Tucci, and it's picked off. Cap couldn't handle the pass. Gray's got it. Unsettled. Matt Wright was calling for it. The long stick. That'll look. Back to Solomon. Now Gray. Wide. Zinser 44, a good step down shooter. Henry Schertzinger. He's got some range on his shot too. Looking for O'Connell. Instead it comes to Craven.
Talented midfielders for North Carolina, lacking experience.
It's a
look deep now. Look deep.
Veterans like the Schertzingers and the O'Connells have waited their turns. And we've got some young bucks too, in DeMarco and English. All right, Quinn, so you say you want to attack again from behind?
I do. It seems like Richmond's more comfortable attacking through the midfield first.
Second midfield on.
But look at Marr, 31, go to work. This defender is as good as it gets in the game.
Done off the pick against Robbins. Only time on the shot clock, Connor Marr not yielding an inch to Dalton Young. And that's actually Dominic Pryor, excuse me.
Nice double
slide. Robbins the help. Kelly, still checked away. The
Little larceny.
Intensity. Turned up. Barton in pursuit.
Fans are loving it tonight. Gorgeous night. Action-packed.
Frankeny feeding the crease. Ground ball. Vacuum by Robbins. And we get a whistle.
Loose ball push. A little bit of a dive job there by Ryan Dunn, but you hustle, you earn the right. If you're the first guy to the ball, you earn the right to get pushed from behind. That's a key to ground ball play. Get there first, and then good things happen.
Lance Madonna. Frankeny. And that's an easy one for Krieg. He's going to have to work out of an ambush.
Oh, he likes that toe drag.
Cooney able to recover. And now Barton's got it. Paul Barton, we told you his dad, Harris Barton, is number 67, honored at North Carolina, played football for the Tar Heels. Great old lineman in the NFL. And how about this, Quinn? Harris Barton in college played against William Perry, the refrigerator of Clemson. Bresci ties the game, and I was going to say his son missed out on playing with William Perry by a year, but he gets to play with Alex Bresci, who gets his third career goal, and Joe Bresci's nephew ties this game at 7.
Students are out in Chapel Hill tonight. They're treated to a good one. Bresci, the transition.
With Geico, we can easily bundle home and car insurance and save even more.
Yeah, just like that breakfast burrito.
There isn't too much hot sauce, is there? I have a sensitive palate.
I actually like hot sauce.
How about guacamole?
I don't really know what we're talking about anymore.
Burritos.
Insurance.
Geico.
Welcome. The great Marshawn is here to predict Super Bowl 56. Bengals, Rams. Ooh, baby, what a game. We've got 300 yards from Burrow. Seeing some playmakers. It's a pick 6. And a handoff inside the 5. That's interesting. Final score, 24-21, the Bengals. And that's the official Madden Super Bowl prediction.
Dalton Young, the SoCon Freshman of the Year last year, has put a stamp on this game.
Chantilly, Virginia Jr. coming off a season that saw him shoot 47%. When given the opportunity, he finds the back of the net. Had a hat trick against North Carolina a year ago. This guy's got a good feel around the goal. He's an excellent high school hoops player where he took 33 charges as a senior. Look at him, he's got that extra chest protection, the big shoulder pads, ready to rumble.
And a face-off violation against Tucci. You get 3.5, and the extra man opportunity kicks in for the opponent, or for the opposition. Evan Bellata, another freshman in there on close defense for Carolina, 41 in white. Another top 100 recruit.
76, according to Inside Lacrosse. This game's gonna test these two teams, their conditioning. This is it's been a highly contested game. There's been really no lulls so early in the year on a warm night.
Dunn working on Bellata. And Dunn puts Richmond back on top. Give him a hat trick.
Thought this could have been an and one. Watch the check. He'll hit him in the helmet. Dunn curling, taking the extra step to greatness. The big righty out of Baltimore. That's what I've been wanting to see from Richmond. You take this inexperienced Carolina defense to the rack.
And this time it was Chinoy who jumped early. Tucci's the threat. He'll run off. As will Alex Bresci. 9 and white, Jacob Kelly, part of a long line of Kellys to play at North Carolina.
Including his dad, Brian. Defenseman on the 1991 championship team.
Lance Tillman. And Nicky Solomon, the Georgian, with the backup. Solomon 2020 last year, 7 multi-goal games a year ago. Ty English, the true freshman, able to recover. Back to Tillman. Richmond sits in his zone. Now Gray. Kelly spins it up top. Good look, Tillman. Body save, Craven.
I tell you, Craven has been so impressive. Invigorated by getting hit by that ball.
Herbert to the wing, English. Turns it over.
That's going to happen. If you're a Carolina fan, Ty English, only a freshman. First game all time. Number 17 recruit in the country, but it's not going to be pretty all the time with such a young team.
Off the fast restart, here comes Gray. From the high wing, nifty pass, Solomon. And that zone continues to perplex Carolina. And at that time, that was a good look by Marr. Hits the crossbar. It's going to stay with UNC. Shot clock resets to 60. Gray will trigger. Harrison Schertzinger did not play last year. Kelly in traffic. Too many red jerseys around. Clock. Now you got to get it over before it hits 60, and they can't. Failure to advance. Carolina gets to go quickly.
These are dangerous moments when you're playing teams like North Carolina and Maryland. They're just lethal on restarts in the transitional moments of play. They segue from one scheme to the next, Anish.
That restart, though, that was a little slower than it should have been. Game 1. Zinzer. Gray feeding in front. And he finds Harrison Schertzinger for the equalizer.
Second chance opportunity, and you see Schertzinger from Cincinnati. Guy who's battled multiple ACL injuries, waited his turn. Chris Gray puts that to space. He puts it right on the money. Catchable, too. He just kind of lobs it in there. Relentless Carolina ride, just making too many plays in the middle of the field.
Was such a weapon last year. Go back to the semifinal game against Virginia, down 12-8, entering the fourth quarter. That ride gave North Carolina a chance. They got to 12-11 and had a chance to send it to overtime in the final minute.
They had 5 fourth quarter ride backs in each. Well, how about the quarterfinal game at Rutgers? If Rutgers could have cleared in that game, they would have gone to championship weekend. They outplayed North Carolina.
It was the ride, and it was Lance Tillman, the savior, in that quarterfinal. Dayton. Tazewell plays it back up top to Dayton. Tied at 8. Richmond trailed 4-0, then settled in. Lanchberry. 3 assists today, still looking for that first goal. Set the Richmond scoring record last year. Tried with the backhand, picked out of the air. Matt Wright. Got to get it over before it hits 60. They do. Gray from X. Takes the shovel. He still has it. Zooms are full head of steam. Inside, that was a great look to Scherzinger, to no avail.
The end result wasn't what North Carolina wanted, but the passing on that possession was high level. I mean, the ball movement and people movement. Gorgeous offense.
Chance on 7 for Richmond. On the doorstep, denied.
These scraps right here, these scraps win this game. That was a huge defensive play, huge.
Ahead to Gray. There's the skip. Kelly gives Carolina the lead. The vision by Gray, the finish by Jacob Kelly.
Oh, this is an amazing pass. He's got a cutter who drags the defender down low, and that opens up the deep pass. It's almost like a quarterback with a scissors route. That is, a man in the flat and a man deep, and he's reading the cornerback. Because Carolina finishes that rush and the player cuts the crease, the defender has to respect him, which opened up the deep pass to Kelly. Man, Chris Gray is unbelievable. His ability to be spatially aware of the players on the lacrosse field is just beautiful to watch.
North Carolina. Gray with 6 points, 2 goals, 4 assists. He had 9 games with 6 or more points last year. Herbert on the invert. Good look here. Nicky Solomon, bouncer. It skirts back to Gray, who has it stick checked away. Persistent defense. Gray gets free. Another skip pass. Tillman, and a save by Craven, who denied the angle. Richmond a little sloppy in the clearing game. Solomon all the way, save Craven, rebound and a score. Cole Herbert. Carolina off the chaos.
Craven trying to tell his guys, maintain your poise. I mean, how many times can Craven stand on his head? Solomon telegraphs that one. Craven's there, but the rebound right to Herbert. The Heels just play so fast. They don't take a deep breath. They don't give you moments to get organized. It's a relentless approach. That's a big, big goal before the end of the quarter.
Three goals in 3.5 minutes to close the third. We got a good one at Dorrance. Carolina leads Richmond by 2. To the fourth quarter we go.
We're coming for you, Lucky.
This St. Patrick's Day, me clover charms turn milk green.
Where'd he go? We must have made a wrong turn.
Turn your milk green with these special Lucky Charms. They're magically delicious.
Welcome. The great Marshawn is here to predict Super Bowl 56. Bengals, Rams. Whew, baby, what a game. We've got 300 yards from Burrow. Seeing some playmakers. It's a pick 6. And a handoff inside the 5? That's interesting. Final score, 24-21, the Bengals. And that's the official Madden Super Bowl prediction.
Quint, Carolina using its defense to create offense late in that third quarter.
Down 8-7. Their ride kicks in. That is the forechecking, creating second chance opportunities and putting a lot of pressure on this Richmond defense. 3 straight goals by Carolina. Chris Gray, the catalyst. But really, what stands out to me is the clearing in this game, Anish. Right now, Richmond is clearing only 14 of 21.
Richmond last year cleared at 90%, amongst the best in the country. And for Dan Shamati, the .1 objective today against Carolina was to clear. He said, we have to clear. We anticipate a lot of 10-man rides and 9.5 disguised rides, but they have not been able to do a consistent job of that tonight.
Their motto.
They'll fire on goal.
Aggressive. I was going to say, Richmond's motto, DTC, discipline, toughness, compete. You live the motto right now. You got 15 minutes to live that motto. That's what it's going to take. It's going to take discipline in your clearing lanes. It's going to take a toughness on defense, and then you got to dig in and compete when you're tired and execute.
North Carolina scored the first 4 goals of the game. Richmond responded with a 6-1 run. The Spiders led at halftime. 3 straight goals to close the third quarter have given Carolina a 2-goal cushion. Harrison shirts into a bouncer. Craven has played very well in his first career start tonight.
So smooth with his hands, catching that one effortlessly. Unfortunately, nobody got involved in the breakout. There was an opportunity to run from the save. Now another failed clear. It's just
try to put it on goal on that ride. Let's see if Carolina gets something unsettled. They'll hold up.
Ridebacks are so demoralizing for a defense and a goaltender. Craven is standing on his head. I mean, how many saves does he have to make? And then watch your teammates turn the ball over. I tell you, that is mentally challenging.
How'd you deal with it as a goalie?
You take a deep breath and you try to reset. You try to make every play its own little entity, like the last one didn't exist, and move on. The next play matters. And then you try to communicate with your defense.
Gray, the skip pass. Good look here.
So it's as simple as saying
the whole story, Clint.
Yeah, hey, midfielders, stay relevant to the ball. Don't run through the box. Okay, give me a 10 or a 20-yard outlet.
Sub 50% clearing in the second half, and there is Gray once more. 3 goals, 4 assists, a tour de force to begin the season from number 4.
The ride backs become overwhelming. Their body punches to a defense, and you see the closeout. It's a yard late. Gray's got time and room, a beautiful level change. It's a high release to a low location with his feet set, and he nails the corner. A player of his ability is going to nail the corner. This all starts with the ride back and a tired defense.
19 turnovers by Richmond. 8 failed clears on 22 attempts. Chinoy slips.
I thought he was tripped.
Tyler Schwartz. And we'll get a loose ball push against Richmond. Carolina ball. Schwartz, another freshman, the #1 long stick midi in his class.
Still tons of time. Feels like Carolina has found a second wind.
It's been with the ride. creative shooter whose dad, Andrew, played in the Canadian Football League. Gray gets around Cap. Tillman drew the slide. Checked away.
Great grounder. Great grounder. This is a gigantic clear, Anish. I mean gigantic. Richmond needs a possession in the worst way.
Jake Saunders did his job forcing the turnover. Richmond has to get it over the midfield line before that shot clock hits 60. They do. Q, you almost need to take a little time here to give your defense time to rest, don't you?
Absolutely, Anish.
Still plenty of time in the game. Dunn's got a hat trick. Cooney denying top side. Rankine now. 20 to shoot. Lanchbury, 3 assists. Good defense by Pryor, the short stick. And Carolina comes up with it.
Great job by Pryor, 30 and white. He's a nice addition to that unit that was already strong.
D coordinator Kevin Unterstein recruited him to Hofstra. He never played for Unterstein there, but there was that relationship, and so as a graduate transfer, he goes from Long Island to Chapel Hill. Weather's nicer, bagel's not as good.
Bodo's doesn't have a satellite office in Chapel Hill.
We're going to have some real bagels on the Syracuse Holy Cross broadcast tomorrow. Just wait. Chris Gray snaking around. 22 to shoot, Solomon to trigger. Less than 10 to shoot. Henry Schertzinger, too high. And a crease violation nonetheless. Seems like a minor victory every time Richmond is able to get it across midfield. Poked away by Schwartz. He's going to be a weapon as the second long pole behind Wright this year. They get one back. Cooper Dayton, the redshirt freshman out of Massachusetts.
Left-handed dodge towards the middle. Carolina's defense is a little bit in disarray. You see them playing some young personnel. The second slide was late. They got the double to the ball carrier. And then Dayton flashes up, the lefty, 6'3", from Massachusetts, just catches that in space. And the second slide, the rotation behind it, is a bit late.
First career goal for Dayton, who redshirted a season ago. Cue the shot advantage for Carolina, 50 to 21. Craven you mentioned, standing on his head. 14 saves for Richmond. Gray from the high wing. You hear the shutters going off. Gray, ooh, looked like it might have hit somebody.
Hit Tillman in the back of the head.
DeMarco closest to the ball when it went out. Carolina ball. Ouch. That does not reset the shot clock. To shoot. Here's Gray. 7 points today. Craven makes his 15th save. He's been sublime. He had a game in high school where he made 30 saves. Here comes Dalton Young. Dayton against Marr, not the matchup. Madonna. Reed able to cover it up. Clint, this defensive midfield is going to be a strength for North Carolina.
Absolutely, I like this group a lot. Matt Wright at the pole, Alex Bresci, Connor Marr, and now Dominic Pryor at that short stick defensive midfield position.
Rowan Schwartz is your second pole.
Tyler Schwartz, highly recruited. Lefty also.
Inside, right there is Jacob Kelly off the feed from Ryan O'Connell, and that's a hat trick for Kelly.
O'Connell carries the defense, eyes him up in double teams, but Kelly planted in the slot. That's a big goal.
You and me, partner. Center of town, high noon.
Nope. Daisy's got last one lessons at noon.
High 2 o'clock. That work?
I got a spur fitting at 2 o'clock. How's about 3?
We don't need any more overscheduling, but we could all use more ways to save.
What about Tuesday?
Zeus! Sorry, Zeus! I need a charge in the... Oh!
Yo, Zeus! Ah, a little juice.
That's it. I'm done with this place.
We'll see about that.
We're coming for you, Lucky.
This St. Patrick's Day, me clover charms turn milk green.
Where'd he go? We must have made a wrong turn.
Turn your milk green with these special Lucky Charms. They're magically delicious.
6:30 to go in regulation. North Carolina, preseason number 6 on top of Richmond, 12-9. We're just getting started with this big lacrosse weekend. Duke beat Manhattan earlier today. Loyola and Maryland play tomorrow. The Gary Gait era begins at Syracuse. On the men's side, that is. We'll have that game on ACC Network. Quint, you going to that Hopkins-Georgetown game Sunday?
I may go to College Park tomorrow and then down to the Swamp to watch the Swamp Dogs take on Johns Hopkins. It's only the second time that Hopkins has ever played Georgetown. And it's really the first game down at Georgetown, Cooper Field, since the renovation that'll be fully attended by fans. It should be a good scene. It's going to be a little cold on Sunday, but I'm expecting a raucous scene. I'm excited Saturday, though, to watch Gary Gait lead the team out of the tunnel up in the dome. That's a cool moment.
There's a renewed energy around that program. You may not see the results this year, but they've recruited well. They've got some big-time players coming in. And Gary Gait has assembled quite the coaching staff as well. Dave Petramala, the former Hopkins coach, is his defensive coordinator. Their volunteer assistant, T.D. Erlin, the great face-off man, Right now also working double shifts playing for the Toronto Rock. NLL lacrosse, which you also get on the ESPN app these days.
Thousands of lacrosse games on the app.
O'Connell, right on the crease, Solomon. Here comes Gray. And a sneaky pass. O'Connell shovels. And the back up by Kelly.
Gray's got it all. Really does. Just so fun to watch. You never know what he's going to do next.
Hat trick for Kelly today. Now Gray. O'Connell with the shot clock down to 13, and Henry Schertzinger with the backup. Schertzinger 3 multi-goal games in ACC play last year. Good feed to Zinzer, couldn't finish. O'Connell down near the crease, and he was in the crease.
Craven does a wonderful job closing this down. Like a hockey goalie, getting to that near post. They're going to give this ball back to North Carolina.
Did they call interference?
And a reset of the shot clock?
That's what Joe Bresci wants.
That is a killer if you're a Richmond fan. Jim Blackner, Andrew Smith, and Matt Palem are officials. That's Matt Palem, former 3-time NCAA champion goalie for Syracuse. Known for his bright orange football pants, but he has quickly become one of the top officials in the game. And we do get the reset, Anish.
Yeah, to 60. Five minutes to go. Unforced error. What is the path back for Richmond?
3 goals. You need some face-off wins, though. That's going to be key here. You're not in a rush yet. You execute your offense. Play fast. What do you like? What have you learned about Carolina's defense? And then you got to win some face-offs if you're going to pull off this miraculous comeback.
Carolina's dominated the edge in the second half. You saw the numbers, 9 of 11. Dunn. Cooney presses out on Dunn. Franken, he couldn't handle it. Pilata scrapping. Whew, it's rough. There's Matt Wright, the Roomba.
That's what he does. Such a hard-nosed player.
Calgary, Alberta, played for Brody Merrill at the Hill Academy. And a threat to score in transition if you don't respect him. 4 career goals.
Love everything about his game. Brings it every week. Effort guy, really talented as well. Junior now.
Carolina's going to be content to kill some clock.
They should be.
Working against a tired defense. Braden McClure, redshirt freshman. Almost got it back for Richmond.
33 in red's a nice player. Can play close, can play pole. Had a monstrous fall. He's a Laker. Probably wearing one of his ties right now.
I was gonna. You took the words out of my mouth. I mean, that's your haberdasher. Boys Latin. Timeout, Dan Shamati. This may just be to rest the defense, right, Q?
Well, this is going to be a Carolina ball, I believe, on the sideline, and they're going to design a double team here off this dead ball, I would guess. Carolina's got to figure out, Dave Metzbauer, their offensive coordinator's got to figure out how they're going to maintain possession.
Chris Gray tonight, 3 goals, 4 assists. He got it started early, and then Carolina was down in that third quarter. It was Gray who stepped up.
If you're a young player, this is the type of game you want to break down and watch Chris Gray on every possession, whether it's his ability to carry the ball strong through defensive pressure. His eyes are up. He sees the field and he makes good decisions. His shooting from mid-range is always textbook and on point. 50 Shades of Gray, man. I love everything about this game. The creative flair as well. And I said it earlier, Nish, his production to turnover ratio is sensational. This is a guy who takes care of the ball, but he makes a ton of plays. It's not like he's taking chances and zinging the ball all over the lot, to make those eye-popping plays. It's beautiful to watch.
Only one turnover tonight, 7 points, and unlike some maybe more typical ex-attackmen, you never feel that the ball is stuck in Chris Gray's stick.
Makes those around him better. Humble, no ego. Boston University transfer, studying for his MBA. His parents, Donna and Ken, Shoreham Wading River, out on Long Island.
Richmond had to press out. Carolina makes the Spiders pay. Guess who?
Double team. Gray shows his speed. 5'7", 170. I got to think he's a little heavier than 170 right now with the muscle he's put on. He'll have none of that double team. It's a guy who played JV lacrosse as a freshman at Shoreham Wading River. He put up 115 points in 10 games. The varsity coach didn't call him up. 115 points in 10 games. He didn't get the call up.
He's not the first Tar Heel who went on to stardom to have to bide his time on the JV team. Friday night duels coming up next. NC State and Pitt.
Oh, that's a good one. Rock Harrison will be on the call. My guys.
Oh, you're a
Sean Kenny. Matt returns equate to Rybacks in lacrosse.
Okay, all right. I'm sold.
ACC championships coming up the first weekend in March. ACC Wrestling Championships. Good year for the league. NC State, Pitt, Virginia Tech, Carolina, all top 20 ranked.
There's Gray again. He's got 8 points. Pulls it back. How about that pass? Picked off there. Coming up on 90 seconds to play. Spiders are going to be a tough out this year.
I said it earlier, the SoCon's such an intriguing league. You got High Point and Richmond leading the way. John Galloway and Jacksonville making gigantic strides, as is Mercer. The interesting wrinkle this year, Hampton's added to the league, which is a huge positive for Chaz Woodson and the Pirates.
They've been biding their time. They've sort of slow-played their Division I existence as Creed makes the save. And with Chaz Woodson at the helm, they've got grand ambitions.
This will be great for their program.
Well, you see it, Quint, with the likes of a Richmond and a High Point. There's no fear. They'll play anybody. They'll play anybody, anywhere. And we've seen what it's done for those programs. They have now become brands. They're getting the best players in the conference. And they've knocked some Titans in lacrosse down on their backside.
Carolina will move forward off this win. There were good, there's bad, there's always a lot to work on in East February lacrosse. Coach Bresci will go back and break down the film, and he'll have a laundry list of stuff.
Quint, if you're North Carolina, you come away with a W tonight, a hard-fought W. Richmond Really battled. The Spiders had the lead at halftime. But if you're Joe Bresci, what did you learn about your team tonight? I know it's just one game. I know it's February. What can you take away that maybe translates long term?
Well, your identity is still one of playing at a tenacious pace. The ride may be the difference in this game. Halftime adjustments to the face-off X made a difference. And then you got Chris Gray. Your young parts will mature and grow while Chris Gray carries this team in February and March.
And that's what Joe Bresci told us earlier in the week. He's our safety net. When things go wrong, we turn it over to Gray. Play through Chris Gray. And did he play tonight? 4 goals, 4 assists in the season opener. UNC down at the half, 8-3 in the second half. They knock off Richmond. Final score 13-9. The Ride, Valkyrian, 8 failed.